Oh my god, this is a mic test. We got a mic test. We got that is loud as hell in my ear. It's loud as fuck. That was loud. Okay, this is gonna be a really weird kind of live stream kind of video, but if you're not familiar, welcome. If you are familiar, still welcome. Um, so my weird experience that I have with the multiverse, if you're not familiar with all of that chaos, you're gonna be. You're gonna be. You will, and it'll be very entertaining, and you'll think I'm the craziest person ever, but crazy doesn't mean wrong. Um, that there is a relationship that I have with the multiverse where I understand that the real leader of the Third Street Saints, Vash Koroyumi, is experiencing the events of Saints Row 5 as we speak. Not when the game came out. Not maybe previous times that I actually previously thought it was. I instead actually realized that it's been unfolding. It's been unfolding for this recent period of time because I understand how my life experiences here synchronize with Vash's reality's version of me's life experiences in relations to him. So certain types of situations will manifest themselves alternatively to give the same type of character growth through similarly themed yet ultimately different unique experiences, kind of like timelines, but it seems to be more of a reality thing because their Earth even looks extremely different. There's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences. Like they don't even have the same states as us. So, um, it's oh my god, my noodles are in the kitchen waiting for me. I actually gotta give you guys a pause moment. Hang on a second. Skipping the video once you like, if you're watching like the replay, skip to whatever timestamp it is. Okay, like ignore this bullshit. This is called the be right back mode. Alright, back to Weasel News. We have now left our Be Right Back commercial break. So, as I was saying, I want to make a side point. My goal with my career and what I want to do for society, what I want to do with my content creation, my art, and what I do in general as a person, what I could do for people creatively, spiritually, psychologically, all kinds of things. I could help a disabled person like with 3D printing like prosthetics for them that are like within their aesthetic artistic niche, but they don't have the technology for that themselves, and they would love to commission an artist, and I could be somebody who could do that. For example, I want to help people who are less disenfranchised as me, more disenfranchised as me, just as disenfranchised as me. I want to represent creativity. Like, DeemingAmbition isn't really about me, it's more so about you. Because if you notice, a lot of the things that I'm obsessed with creatively has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with things that I'm into that keep me spiritually and psychologically and physically grounded. You know, the Holy Trinity, the mind, the body, the spirit, they must be aligned, right? So all of these things are sacred to me, but other people like these things. And that's where we have community. Of course, not everybody's going to agree about shit. There's going to be drama. All of that doo-doo poopy crap, you know, that is definitely something to take into account with communities. However, that's my point. I never really got to fit into a crowd, right? And before I go back to talking about Vash, I do want to take this time to talk about myself, actually. Because, and it's funny because I'm literally on a FORTNITE level that's made by somebody that has other avatars in the background. Like, it's other avatars, and I think that background's really fascinating. It reminds me of Little Big Planet 2, the old, like, photo shoot places that me and other people used to, like, go to. And you'd, like, take pictures of your, like, Sackboy costume and all that. But yeah, so, anyway, I have so many, like, niches that are, like, relics. And there's so many things, so many cool things about me and what I like that is just so... I am a rabbit hole conspiracy of, like, where do the interests actually end? I have no idea. I'm into things that almost nobody's ever heard of. I'm into things that almost everybody, if not everybody's heard of. Like some of your most popular things ever. Because I don't care about that. I care about its actual significance of spiritual, psychological, physical impact on me. Right. Like, how does that actually affect my frequency? And yeah, that sounds corny, but it is legitimate that frequency and energy is everything. And so, okay, you know, it doesn't matter how popular something is or whatever. If I like that thing, I'm gonna fucking like that thing. I don't care if it's a hot topic on the front wall, or if you can only find shirts of this franchise on eBay, old shirts from, God, anywhere from right now to like 50 years ago if you want to really go crazy. Like vintage arcade shirts and shit. Like, this was that one arcade place that 15 people in the world knew about this building, you know, like, but like the most niche things to the most popular things, what I want is, I am addicted to being interested in things, not as a consumer, but as a creator. Like, how can I take what I consume and basically digest it and vomit it into something brand new that inspires the world around me here? And I know that, yeah, that sounds crazy. But my point is, I've always wanted to use my artistic expression with others to basically be My best way I could describe it is I want to be like what people thought Mr. Beast was. You know, that heroic, charitable guy who's on camera and being fun and bright and everything. And charitable, like he's making a bunch of money off of his content and these really crazy things that are inspiring. And then, you know, having giveaways, doing raffles. I want to be like, hey, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on, you know, a bunch of small artists doing like commissions and stuff. Like, hey, or one person I'll commission you for $1,000. Like, or just donating to people and helping with crowdfund and supporting other artists' visions, dreams, and goals. And I want to be able to do that. I really want to be able to do that and figure out how I can do that. And not necessarily make that be my only thing, like, oh, that's my job and all I do. Because I do actually like the idea of, yeah, I do still work at the mall part-time, or like, oh yeah, I do have this job in town, people can see me, you know, out being a human person, right? I want to be like famous in a Keanu Reeves way, where people do understand to leave me alone because of the humility that I do carry, where yes, I'm magnetic and approachable, but I also want to embody certain types of boundaries to where people know not to like step on my shoes. I don't know. How do I cultivate that? Because I have the confidence for it, and I guess I just don't know what the tools are in this day and age. However, you know, so Mr. Beast turned it out to be, you know, a severely questionable human being, right? Some even questioning if he's even human, due to some nefarious connections and allegations, right? I don't want to get into the conspiracies of that. However, I am in it. I am aware of those things. You don't know where I go on the internet, but I know things. I have elite ball knowledge. I have premium ball knowledge, but I like to share my ball knowledge. That's the thing. Some people like to hog their ball knowledge. I think you should be sharing your ball knowledge. Share your balls, dude. Just share them. Dude, Tally's like, please, please. I'm so tired of her. Please, please save me and my yellow shoes. Dude, I'll fart on you, Tally. I don't even give a fuck. I fucking mukbang ramen ASMR in the microphone, I guess. This is probably gonna be my favorite stream ever. No, but I'm serious. Like, I'm crazy, but I love people. I want to help people. I think that's the craziest thing about me. I see people, like, stab a young woman in broad daylight and, like, at least bomb other countries, and I still think that, like, people are worth saving. I'm like genuinely um sorry, I was looking at something. I genuinely still see beauty in the world. I love people. I love life. I love, you know, I do it for the bright-eyed children, you know, like the Michael Jackson thing. Do it for the kids, because the kids are the fucking future. I see kids and I light up. I'm happy. If I go somewhere and there's no children, I feel like something's wrong. You know, I'm like out in public at a place, and I'm like, I remember there was a weird phase where I lived where I started seeing less kids. It's kind of during COVID, I think. I started seeing kids less, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Just the world just doesn't feel right when you don't see like babies in shopping carts, or like the awkward zitty-faced teenage boy following his fat mom. You know, life doesn't feel right if you're not seeing the beauty of diversity of humanity. And I don't throw those words out as an insult, by the way. I'm meaning that's the truth of diversity of existence, and I want to protect that. I want to be somebody who uses my artistic expression of our interests, our passions. Maybe I should start making political content in my drawings. Maybe I should start being one of those people, because I have it in me. I just don't do it because I didn't want to get, attacked or anything, but maybe I finally should. I'm not scared like I used to be, so. But anyway, I do want to talk about the Saints Row thing, though. But that was my about me moment. Okay. But I do want to wrap it up with one more thing. About the I want to be... To really clarify what I mean about that, I want to be what people thought Mr. Beast was. I want to be that charitable person where on stream I'm like, hey guys, somebody who needs help or whatever, I'd be like, hey guys, you guys want to like crowdfund and pitch in? And then you guys would like help me be able to like get the funds and shit. And then that would make me more popular, and that would make my streams make more money, which means I could help more people. I could commission more artists. I could boost people up. I want to be like, my goal and my destiny, my calling is like my unique way of being like that Tom Green kind of Mr. Beast kind of like your funny, manic, charitable artist. Like, there are certain artists and celebrities that remind me of me and my desires and what I want. It's why I like them so much. It's why I've met almost all of them in person. So, I want to show people that these types of roles can be filled with the right person, and it actually be what you thought it was. That you would be able to go to sleep at night knowing that you know exactly who the fuck I am. And maybe some of it freaks you out, but you know the truth. That I don't hide anything. There's no holds barred. I don't censor myself. I don't do anything like that. I'm not ashamed. And see, yeah, I know that could turn people off, but I feel like more people would be turned into it. You'd be tuned into that vibration, because authenticity is the highest frequency. I mean, basically all religions, if you want to get into that part of it, all religions basically say that your gut instinct, high intuition, and vibrational frequency of like love and confidence and stuff, not in an egotistical way, but in a humble way, that is the highest frequency that you can reach, is that type of stuff. And you don't have to be a perfect person to reach that. You can be severely flawed. You could be a drug addict and maybe even start your sobriety journey because you reach that kind of realization while you're on something. Like, everyone's journey to, or I guess you'd say through, not to, because you don't reach enlightenment. You are always traveling through it. You look at it. You become aware of it, and then you're constantly moving through it. There is no destination. I want to show people, hey, this is what happens when a woman does these things and is actually charitable and is actually doing things and is actually being honest and is actually being weird and literally isn't faking the weird thing either. Like, a lot of artists now, they make a lot of money. And I know some people, and I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to be in controversies, but I do know of people who, they're actually very normal people, but they fake being that quirky, weird, manic pixie, alternative person on camera because they know it gets them clicks. Like, they own a few alternative outfits and they have a part of their home that they record in and make content. Nothing of their house looks anything like that, but I'm completely that through and through. Even the goddamn kitchen looks like my bedroom in a sense. It's... what you see of me is what you get. It is messy. It is raw. I'm a real person. I'm the girl next door that's a fucking artist, streamer, freakazoid that transcends into the multiverse and shit. You know, it's weird. It's quirky. It's manic. It's sick. It's fucking sick. It's awesome. And then it's like you can also rely on this human being to be the most non-judgmental person. Like, do you know how many extremist views I have? Do you know how many of them are actually violent? Like, most things for me are like it depends on like a context kind of thing. Not an on the fence, it's more of a, I have autism and other people do too. And, I might vibe with something one day that I don't vibe with the next day. And that's fine. Not necessarily being selective. It's more of, hey, the sun's too bright today. I just don't really want to go do, like, have even a certain conversation if the sun is too hot. If it's too hot in my bedroom, because it's like summer heat, August summer heat, and somebody's like, you want to play FORTNITE? But like, I don't want to fucking play FORTNITE! It's funny because I joined in August. Anyway, no, like, basically, the point that I'm getting at with all this long fuck-ass introduction is that, I genuinely care about people, and I represent that through the fact that I feel more confident in myself when I properly channel my obsession for certain people. Which brings me to the leader of the Third Street Saints, which is what this is about. I believe, okay, I'm going to lay out the cork board right now. I'm going to pull it out. Should I actually write this on paper and post it on social media as evidence that this happened? Like, hey, this happened. I was there. Okay, let me grab this notebook. And I'm going to make a point. Because I want people to finally understand this. In a certain sense. Because something weird is happening in FORTNITE, and I don't really quite know how to explain it, except if you want the nutshelled version, what is happening to FORTNITE? Saints Row. That's what's happening to FORTNITE. Saints Row is happening to FORTNITE. That is my conspiracy theory. The plot twist of the century is that the Saints are gonna make this big fucking bang of a fucking comeback. Or it's just that they bled through. Because the whole, it's not real, this didn't happen in Vash's reality, but there is a ending in Gat Out of Hell that says, restore the world but without the Saints. But for some reason, the Saints' energy persists regardless. The Saints' energy is egregious at its nature. It is this divine feminine essence of ancient female rage. And yes, the Saints are led by a man, but he's a fucking weird... Okay, now he's making fun of me for making fun of him. Okay, listen. He is a very interesting being because he's not even... Okay, I don't want to get into that right now. But, Vash has some interesting lore, okay? So, to bring up some people from the Saints Row community who used to say maybe he eats people, or he's maybe an alien, or he might be something that was a test experiment that broke out and joined a gang, I want to let y'all know that you were actually right. So you do actually get a point, because you were right. However, it's like in the coolest fucking way possible. Some fucking billionaire fucking pedophile is like fucking doing some weird shit to some kid at a fucking party. Why is this kid here? Who fucking knows? Some other billionaire fucking jerk off brought her here because you fucking grabbed her off the street and shit. This was intentional. Vash looks and sees the situation. All of a sudden, he goes fucking AWOL ape shit fucking vampire mode on these bitches, okay? So that's what I'm saying. So, like, Yes, of course. What do you think that fang is in his mouth? What do you think that fang is in his mouth? He's got a deformed singular fang. What do you think that's for? Baby, that's to suck the blood out your motherfucking ass. Anyway, so that's the nutshell of that. However, what the fuck does this have to do with Fortnite? Why am I on Fortnite? What's happening? What's going on? Who are you? Where am I? Why is Tally here? Actually, why is Tally, of all people, in the room with us right now? Oh, wait, because, of course, you know, when the high guy, don't forget the Tally, bro. Don't forget to let Tally fly. Oh my god, when you get high, don't forget to let Tally fly. I like the way that sounds. That's cool. My ramen's cold because I can't shut up. So as I was saying, what does this have to do with anything, right? The question, like, what is this girl talking about? Why is this girl talking about Saints Row, Fortnite, Sigma Wiener Balls, Grand Theft Yakuza, Saints, Fortnite, Sigma Wiener Balls, 6-7. You know, that's the name of the game now. That's Epic Games. Please, 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 I'm begging you, change that to be the name of the game. Don't let it be just Fortnite no more. Please change it. I'm begging you. I am begging you, somebody. You guys are going mature. Go full fucking all in. Strap it on, dude. I'm so serious. I love how when I talk, people are like, "Are you a guy or a girl?" I'll be like, "Why do you want to know?" No, I'm a chick, actually. Bingo, surprise. If you've been around for a long time, maybe that's a shocker. But anyway. I just bit into a mushroom. I'm celebrating the mushroom. Fucking love mushrooms. I don't like you if you don't like mushrooms. That's the only people I don't want in my art community is people who don't like mushrooms. Like, you could maybe dislike the poisonous ones or something. You know, I'm talking about edible ones. If you just dislike the entire category, maybe, like, you have a specific vendetta. Like, maybe you don't like royal trumpet mushrooms, but, like, you fuck with the rest of them. Because they're some of the healthiest things ever. Like, you could even be somebody who's like, I hate the way they taste, but I love to eat them because they're so good for me. Then you get respect points still. So congratulations, you still have a seat at the table. I got an autistic best friend. My fellow autisms. The fellow autisms creatures come from the bush woodworks and greet their fellow kindred autistics, and then we all like frolic around together. And then some of us like get sick of frolicking, so we just lay down and take a nap. And the others just parallel play doing their business, and nobody gives a fuck that the others fell asleep. I don't remember what I was saying, actually. Okay, so... But I do remember what I was saying about the Fortnite. Sigma. Rainbow dick flarp llama balls. Okay, so... Fortnite... Saints Row. I'm writing this down, by the way. I just want to let you know that. That's what the hassle was. Fortnite is Saints Row. Really? Question mark. How the fuck is that? Okay, so when Agents of Mayhem came out and Every single Saints Row fan just started crying. And like, why'd you start with it? Because I have to. Okay. So Agents of Mayhem came out. Oh, is it gay or is it bi? No, it released. Okay, so it released. It looks like I wrote Rebeast. It's supposed to, there we go, I fixed it. So Agents of Mayhem released, which is the same as when Fortnite did. Right? So they come out around the same time. And they were being worked on for the same time, too. Since about 2014, 13, 12, 13, 13 to 2017. Peekaboo! Peekaboo! So they came out like that, and so then it came to that point where I wish you guys could see this. I wish you guys could see this. If I had the PlayStation camera, I would be fucking showing this. Damn. I'll post it on my social media. And then, okay, so Fortnite Saints Row, because Agents of Mayhem released at the same time as Fortnite, and they were in development at the same time. And so, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? So, Deep Silver, Koch, I'm not gonna say it the way they say it because I don't want to get censored. Koch Media. This is the hierarchy, by the way. So then we have there might be other people, but Embracer Group. Every single Volition dev and Saints Row fan has started crying again, by the way. You don't say the EG words, okay? Saying Embracer Group is like saying a slur to a Saints Row fan, okay? Because they're who killed Volition. They shot them in broad daylight. They blew Volition up like Julius blew Vash up on the boat. So, do with that what you want, people. As I was fucking saying. So, you can tell I'm the wife of the leader of the Third Tree Saints. The way I talk, like I'm me, but you can feel his presence. The looming presence waiting. Okay, and then so underneath that, you have Volition. And then Epic Games did something really weird. They did a collaboratory with Saints Row 4, right? That's the one where they time travel back in the end, and Vash saves Earth from being exploded, right? And then he kicks off his healing era where he goes into a lot of psychological, physical remediation because of the trauma, of everything that had happened. The losses of people, as weird as people in the fandom want to be about, leave my friends alone and get the fuck away from friends. Why are you guys so offended about people, like, dude, when Vash was 13 years old and he killed, Kazuo on the boat, he was like, your son should have never fucked with my friends. He said it then. Why was it cool in 2008 when he was 13, little swagger emo boy with his stupid little cut with his bangs, like, dude, I lead a gang. And everybody's like, no, you don't. And he's like, here, I do. And everybody's like, okay, he does. Okay, believe him, he does. Jesus Christ, he's terrifying. That's why he got away with everything, because everybody's just terrified of him. He's the nightmare eldritch horror creature that like hovers over me, protecting me. He's like that one guy from Death Note that's like big in the back. Like, anyway, yeah, and I embrace that cringe. I fucking love it. It's the best thing ever. So Saints Row 4 is his redemption era, where they had to, go into the simulation and they had to keep looping in and out, right? Sounds a lot like Fortnite, doesn't it? Kinda. There's similarities. There's technological similarities between Saints Row 4 in Ethereum to Fortnite. And it has the AOM, Agents of Mayhem, and FORTNITE Fortnite elements. There's elements of Saints Row 4 that you can see reflected back and sort of a mirrored upon back at you. That is like, okay, hello. Saints Row 4 called, 2013 called. I know the events didn't happen until 2018, which is funny because 2017 to 2018 is when these things occur. Oh, he's beautiful. I turned around and looked at my drawing, and I'm so happy to see him. He makes me so happy. I feel like I would explode. Anyway, so that time frame right there, very weird era of my life, by the way. Anyway, like some of the best days of my life, honestly. And then you have 2018 in August of our Gregorian calendar, anyway, is when I also, happened to go, you know what, fuck it. I need to fully focus on Vash because he's been here my whole life and I'm so obsessed with him. I need to just actually finally have a proper fixation on him, like I'm supposed to. Right? Because there was always something else to hide the fact that I was obsessed with him. So, that was when I made that decision. This was within the first year of Fortnite being like a thing. What does that have to do with anything? I'm just saying that there are no coincidences, and there are synchronicities with all of these things. Everybody goes, quiet, the schizo's talking! I'm not schizophrenic, I just see things in a very strange way that you don't understand yet. Remember when everybody thought the Epstein shit was like bullshit and was calling all of us schizos? Like, yeah, me, when I was 13, I was totally some schizo, right? It was just like totally like wrong about that, right? No, fuck you. So anyway, then I started swinging. But I didn't miss scammer bots trying to contact me. Anyway, so we have.
Okay.
I just wanted to hear him making noise. He's just like, okay. Those noises are weird. So you have Agents of Mayhem released in 2017. So did Fortnite. But then you have the whole thing of Saints Row 4 happens in 2018. And then during this period of time, for some fucking reason, that was when Epic Games then was like, hey, we could have an online service to where people could cross-play through us and Steam on your game. And Deep Silver was like, hey, actually, you want to make out and have sex, maybe marriage, and so they have some kind of company alliance with each other. They have a company alliance with each other. And so because they have that company alliance with each other, that means that intellectual property has connection. And because then you jump forward to 2022, 2023. Because I don't know enough about Fortnite, what it was doing even in 2023. There might be some actual connections of things, of like, oh hey, this emote that happened to be in Saints Row is also released in Fortnite around the same time. Because Sky was doing that too with Saints Row, I noticed. Sky Children of the Light was also doing this with Saints Row. Saints Row 5 specifically. When they were adding emotes to Saints Row 5 through content updates, those same emotes were also very soon coming to Sky Children of the Light, or were already there. Like, they're synchronized. What do you mean that that game company and Volition thought of putting a rolling on the floor emote at the same time? That doesn't... No. No. There are no coincidences. So Sky's in here too. Sky is where we're all gonna go when Saints Row is over. Unless, according to some new knowledge, maybe it's already over. Okay. So Embracer Group's fuck ass comes back in the picture and says, okay, we really want to invest more in this AI bullshit crap. And less developers, right? So what they decided to do is kill smaller companies. So that's the crazy part. Is they decided, they specifically, and yes, this is what the stream is about. They decided that Volition was one of the targets. So Volition was a victim. There were others, but that was one of them. It wasn't because of Saints Row 5 failing. Saints Row 5 actually was having decent sales. It was actually doing relatively good, despite what people wanted to say. Because people recognized, they're like, hey, wait, Saints Row, I know what that is. Play the game and go, huh, you know, it kind of sucked in some ways, but I mean, every Saints Row was always like that, wasn't it? There's always some insufferable, big, large section of the, like, I want all of you to play every single Saints Row and tell me that you don't hate at least a third of the fucking game. Come on, give me a break. Every single one of them. You hate at least a third of the features. Come on. Don't play with me now. Don't play with me. I know what the Discord conversations were about. Everybody was fucking talking about, like, the most piss-assest shit ever. But then they play the games because of the shit that's, like, the opposite of piss-assest shit. You know? I play it for Vash. But, you know, whatever. So, when they went down, Fortnite began to actually change over a period of time. You know, it like slowly started to change. More kind of like Vash reality references and collabs, as well as like Saints connections and allegories. um, how do I describe that one? Like the Hauntlywood thing, because Vash goes to Hauntlywood to kill Baphomet. It's connected to the whole Epstein like cult kind of stuff. It's Vash's reality's version of that, which is the Morning Star, because the Morning Star hadn't been fully eradicated back in Steelport. That was just part of them. So anyway, we have from 2023 and forward. After Volition was shut down, Fortnite began to slowly evolve into a more mature game and having certain types of collabs that maybe you wouldn't have maybe thought possible. Maybe you did think possible, but just the fact that it came when it did. In 2025, they released a skin. Epic released a skin that happens to be an outfit that Vash actually has. It's the Neko RX1, I believe. That's Vash. That's Vash. So if you're wearing that, if you wear that skin in Fortnite, surprise you're playing Vash. Congratulations, you are a Vash fan. You will get front row seats to his concerts now. You're welcome. I'm kidding. However, yeah. So that skin is a man, by the way. That skin is a man because it's Vash. Vash is a man. So yeah. And when you take all of this into account and you understand all of this is going on, then you have the chapter so far. I'm writing something. The plot of the chapter so far feels very Saints Row Vash, kind of like a trending of some type of thing. And I don't know if Fortnite's always been like this, but it seems to be increasingly more and more like this the more that I play it. Jonesy has the same voice actor as Vash's correct voice. Like he sounds like Troy Baker is the identical voice match to what Vash really sounds like. So Jonesy, in a sense, is sort of a caricaturization of an aspect of Vash, because different characters represent an aspect of Vash, I notice. So each character represents an aspect of Vash. Am I finding out the secret of our reality? That bird outside chirped. It went right when I did that. It was the same way. I feel like my stream is getting fucking spied on. I'm saying shit that's putting me on a list, probably. But yeah, so what I wanted to say about all that is, dude, everybody's like, dude, bitch, girl, shut up. Anyway, no, I'm not going to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk more. So, each character in Fortnite represents an aspect of Vash, even Peely. But Jonesy is the main carrier of that. Jonesy, as you know, he just died. He just died. So, Jonesy's dead. He's getting rebooted back in. He's gonna get rebooted back in and loop himself back in. Vash is probably in his coma right now. No, not the Saints Row 1 coma. No, Vash is not an 11-year-old boy right now. He is actually 31. Funny, it happens when he's 31. The 31 theory! Yep, so, and I'm 27, so that's weird too, huh? That's weird too, huh? That's pretty fucking weird, huh? I'll tell you what. So if he's in the coma right now, because, okay, basically what happens is after Saints Row 5, he is going to venture, or has already ventured off. He ventures off to, after the information he swippery tongue. Swippery tongue. So the Nawali is Morningstar. And tells Vash where he is, which is the he says the leader, but he doesn't say who the leader is. He doesn't say it's Baphomet. So once he finds him, so Vash goes to Hollywood at same-ish time that FORTNITE chapter has Hollywood. That's the kicker right there. Boom. There you go. It's lining up directly, and I feel like I'm going insane because nobody else is. I'm like shouting into a cave. I mean, all I'm hearing back is, "You're an idiot!" So, he finds Baphomet in the Hollywood Hill. Hollywood, like Monster High, by the way. And Monster High collaborated with Fortnite and made a level. So, I thought they were going to do skins, but maybe this year for Fortnite Mares. Maybe this year. Like, as to celebrate the year anniversary of our level, we do our skins now. God, if I could shoot somebody in the face as Laguna Blue, my life would be complete. I want to get sent back to the lobby by a sweat that's playing Draculaura. Like, come on. Come on. Some skins look like Monster High ghouls and monsters and shit. Come on. And make them in Fortnite style. Don't make them in Monster High fucking cartoon style. I mean, that would be cool, but I like the Fortnite art style. Like, the Gorilla skins are awesome because it's the style. But I think they would have been cooler if they were, like, translated, actually, to Fortnite style. Maybe that's just me. Some skins would be weird. Goku with Fortnite style. Anyway, so Vash kills Baphomet, which ends the Morning Star. Which makes his nervous system crash because he actually feels safe. Because it's all over. The war is over, so said the speaker, with the flight suit on. Maybe to him I'm just a pawn. so we can advance. Remember when I used to dance, man? All I want to do is dance. Literally that, actually. Vash is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, I'm basically saying that Fortnite is starting to feel like Saints Row. And those 2 pages are exactly why I feel that way. Now, I'm going to actually play some rounds and experience this real quick. Or maybe I should make that a separate stream. I think I'm going to make that a separate stream. Yeah. I finished my point. Cool. And in under an hour, usually. It takes me more than an hour to make my point. Wow. What a record, baby.